In the green and fragrant southern suburbs of Warsaw, on the old road to the town of Konstantin, lies the 17th century palace of Wilanów, home away from home for the storied Polish king Jan Sobieski. Just as in the past, citizens, travelers, and tourists journey to the outskirts of the capital, mimicking the behavior of Jan Sobieski himself, who often sought refuge in his palace. Yes, he was the hero of Vienna in 1683, the battle that prevented the Turkish invasion of Europe. This is one of the landmark occurrences in both Polish and European history. And this was the residence where Jan Sobieski came to reflect. This Latinate palace would be at home in Italy or France, perhaps particularly France, with its sculptured flower gardens, its invitingly relaxed facade, and its ornamental canal. Motifs paying homage to Roman and Greek myths adorn the facade of the palace itself, as well as the gardens. It's a pleasant place to relax and reflect. You can see why King Jan Sobieski had it built for this purpose, which it serves remarkably. Go there yourself when you're in Warsaw. You will not be disappointed, as these programs will show. This is the palace, not just of a king, but of a great king. In fact, Jan Sobieski is one of the seminal figures in European history, and this palace perfectly reflects the mind of that very special individual. So here we are, folks, in the front of the Wilanów Palace. It's an exciting place. As we were saying in a previous episode, this was the hangout of Jan Sobieski III, and let's just say there was no more important king.
That's the guy.
Than he. And not only in Poland, he's one of the most important figures, I guess we could say, in European history, for a number of reasons. We'll get into more of that, won't we, Arthur?
Yes, of course.
What about this gate here, before we go in?
The gate tells a lot. Let's take a look at the top two sculptures of the gate. So on the left we can see Roman god of war, Mars himself, but take a look at his mustache. So we can see that the mustache reminds of King Sobieski mustache. So that's how the Roman god of war is compared to the King Sobieski himself. So who's on the other side of the gate? There's a Roman goddess of peace, Pax, and that's why she holds a palm leaf in her hand representing peace. So whenever the king was in war, he was fighting to bring prosperity and peace for the inhabitants of the country.
So
and that's
War
why
and Peace. It sounds
War
like,
and Peace.
It's a good title for a book.
Yeah, well,
I
would you like
better
to write
get busy.
one?
Yeah, I better get busy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do it.
We definitely need a book entitled War and Peace, I think, don't you?
There are two more sculptures.
Where are they?
Can you see? On the left and the right, there are two more sculptures.
griffins?
No, of a dog and a bear. So these sculptures were added later
that a
in
griffin?
19th century by the dignitary nobility gentleman Mr. Potocki, who sculptured these two things in here. So to compare the king to a dog that represents devotion to his country.
Because dogs are known for their devotion, man's best friend.
Exactly. So he was a nation's best friend and also a bird that represents strength.
Strength.
So these sculptures were added about 150 years after the king himself died. So still in King's
When did he
days.
die? When did he die?
So these are late 1600s.
Okay, so late 1600s.
The end of 17th century.
The end of the 17th century, and Sobieski died then like 1690 or something, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then 1800s, these two more sculptures were added. This is when this became the first Polish museum, and this is when so many people come today, so to call it Polish Versailles.
Oh, this is another one, because the Brunitsky Palace was a little Versailles as well.
No, this is the bigger one.
This is bigger?
Yeah.
This is bigger and better? I thought Brunitsky Palace was pretty big too.
Okay, now you know better than you knew before.
Good Lord, but I was believing the local propaganda.
No, come on.
Folks, okay. They're
It's
both like Versailles,
It's
right?
like when you travel
Let's
in
not get
Italy.
into a fight about
It's
it.
like when you travel in Italy, in every single city they will tell you they have the best pizza. So we have so many little Versailles in Poland, and let's take a look at the best one.
This is you think, the prime example.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go. We're going inside now. Stay with us, and we're going to be joined by our hula hoop enthusiast, Miho from Tokyo.
There's his mustache. Can you see?
This is Peace, and that's Mars, yeah.
And can you see his mustache?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there he
Yeah,
is.
I see it. Okay, so we're inside now with Arthur, and we're joined by our Japanese friend, Miho Sano, who is a hula hoop enthusiast. And that's always important when you're touring an important palace. What are we going to see? Let's just go for a walk.
Let's take a look at these sculptures outside the palace. They are really interesting, and they tell the history of this place and of what people were thinking about the king and his queen as well, because that was an amazing relationship.
Yeah.
Every single Polish man knows King Sobieski because of his battles, because of his warrior attitude and his victories. But every single Polish lady recognizes King Sobieski as a great man devoted to his life and his family. So let's take a look at both. What kind of guy he was in general.
Okay, so we're going down there. All right, good.